Hi, my name is Lenore Lampi, and I am currently and for the last 20 more years working intently with clay. And I like to think of myself as an artist who happens to use clay. So many other ceramicists are so skilled in the techniques and the chemistry with ceramics. And for me, it's more like the clay needs to do what I want it to do. I love doing the sculptural work. It's so freeing. And I'm happy to say I stumbled upon the birch motif series when I was working with porcelain clay, although I don't use porcelain any longer, but it evolved from that. I have discovered that bee clay, which Continental Clay in Minneapolis formulates that recipe. There are several of them. It's kind of a combination between stoneware and porcelain. It's just the best of both worlds. Its drying capacity is just, and how it dries evenly is just wonderful. Whereas maybe with porcelain, one would have handles on mugs, for example, and then if they dried too fast, the handles would split. Then as far as glazing, I have acquired glazes over the years and glaze recipes, and so I make my own glazes. For my birch series, I noticed that terra sigillata is a mixture of porcelain, even though I'm using bee clay, dried porcelain, soda silicate, and soda ash in a recipe. It's like cream on fresh milk. The finest particles rise to the top, and the heavier particles descend, and then you scoop off or siphon off the finer particles, and then it leaves a very beautiful, polishable sheen on it. One wonders, why do ceramicists stick to certain glazes? Well, I'll tell you why. Because each kiln load, if you're going to be efficient, you fill up the kiln. So there's a waiting period till you have enough items to fill the kiln, and then fire it, and then you can put your experiment in there. And so we're talking 2 months, 6 months at a time in order to just maybe find out that something works. So if you have glazes that work or glaze recipes that work, then it's probably why you kind of stick to it. The new series is using white satin glaze, and I'm using solid sheets of decal paper and cutting and putting it on and then firing it a third time. It's a big change, too, to work in color compared to the neutral tones I've been using. And a lot of these are super experimental. And also, I'm really interested in the James Webb telescope, and I'm really interested in the 50s and the space age concepts. And if you look at some of the traditional graphics from the 50s, and for instance, this one, which has the TV kind of motif, it's crazy how innocent it is. It's just so innocent. And those were the screens, and we were already enthralled with them. And so they used them in their motifs. What I have always felt is that if you're a sensitive person and someone says, ceramicists don't do that, don't listen to it. You can stretch the limits, especially with sculptural pieces. There's nobody saying you can't paint on ceramics, like I've heard that. You can't paint on ceramics with regular paint. Oh, yes, you can, because you pick up a brush and do it. If you listen too closely, it'll close you down, and you'll dismiss ideas that might be really good for you. And so, safety first, then go after it,